Hi, my name is Shannon Swann, and I am a French teacher at University High School in Carmel. I am here to tell you today about the IU Honors Program, which is a program that I have been connected to for many, many years, and that I love and believe in, and think is one of the best study abroad programs in the country. So, to start with, I was an IU Honors participant myself when I was in high school. I was in the Saint-Brieuc program as a student from Valparaiso High School. And, just like anybody who is planning to spend a summer abroad and speaking another language, living with a host family, all of the what the program entails, I was nervous before I went. I was I really liked French. I was a good French student, but the idea of being away from home all summer and, only being able to speak in the target language, I mean, it's intimidating. And yet, it was the best thing I ever did. I, I think it was only a few days until I really started to feel comfortable. I couldn't say everything I wanted to say, but I could feel that it was becoming easier as I went through the program. And by the end of it, I really felt like, I could communicate pretty much without difficulty in French, and that to me was absolutely amazing. There are so many other things that the program brought to me, but I think the most important is that I was there was a certain confidence that came from spending the summer immersed in the language, immersed in a new culture, navigating all of that, and succeeding at it. I remember when I went away to college a year later, thinking to myself, when I had to give a presentation or I had to write a paper or, do something that was challenging, and this little voice in my head would say, I get to do that in English? No problem. Because really, once you have been through the IU Honors Program, you have this sense that, like, of course I can do that. I did that. I did that. I did the IU Honors Program. I immersed myself and spoke only French for, at that time, it was 7 weeks. And so I think that, that is probably the biggest difference that it made in my life, along with, of course, the language skills, was the confidence that it gave me. And that sense of like, I can do hard things if I just put my mind to it. And not only can I do them, but there's a pride that comes from having accomplished something like that that you just carry with you. It's with you forever after that point. And so I really, I really think that everything sort of started there. From that point, I'm a French teacher now, so obviously it had a huge impact on me, but it wasn't a straight line for me to go straight from being an IU honors participant to being a French teacher. But I would say that what I experienced in the IU Honors Program led me to pursue the career that I ended up pursuing. So I went away to college. I studied French and political science. I studied abroad my junior year, spent a year in Strasbourg in France. And then when I graduated, well, my original plan was to go to law school. That's why I studied political science. And after I came back from Strasbourg, I realized that what I really believed in and really wanted to pursue was a career in the field of study abroad. And as I started looking into the career, I found that a lot of the jobs that I was interested in really required a master's degree. So I decided to go to graduate school with the intention that afterwards I would sort of move into the field of study abroad. And I did a degree in teaching, thinking that that would be sort of an avenue to get me to where I wanted to go. And as it turned out, I had never taught before, but I was a teaching assistant and was teaching, beginning French classes at Purdue, and realized that I just loved teaching. It was really fun. I got to spend every day speaking French and encouraging my students to speak French, And because I had that cultural experience of having done IU honors and studied abroad in college myself, I could make it real for them in a way that maybe my teachers who had not studied abroad had not been able to do. Not that they weren't great, but I think when you've had that experience living in a family, which by the way is harder to do after high school because you're older, you're a young adult, you have your own life and all of that. But as a high school student, it's really the ideal time to live with a family and really participate in the family life, which is what I was able to do as an IU honors student. So I finished my master's degree and I went to Grenoble, France to teach English at the university there for a year. And when I came back from Grenoble, I sort of started moving more into the field of ESL, English as a Second Language, which I loved because having done IU honors at such a young age, I realized, what a big world was out there, that people have different perspectives and different ways of doing things, and my curiosity had been piqued. And so getting to spend every day with people from all over the world talking about our values and our habits and, all of those things and helping them learn English so that they could participate in life here in the United States and be more comfortable, it was just a great experience. But in 2001, I went on a family trip to France, and it really dawned on me how much I really missed France. I missed speaking French. And I decided that I was going to try to find a way to get back into French teaching. So I did that. I was hired in 2002 to teach at University High School, where I have been ever since. And of course, during that time, I've encouraged numerous students to do the IU Honors program. And, what's great is having done the program myself, I really know what it's like. I really know what happens in the program, and I can sort of answer their questions from the perspective of someone who's actually done the program, and that I think puts them more at ease, and it also shows them that like if you do this program, you can come out with beautiful French and a cultural experience that is unique, really, because most study abroad programs are either shorter or you can speak English during them. This truly immersive experience that you have with IU Honors is so unique and so wonderful, that I have been its booster, for more years than I care to count. In 2012, my own son, who had studied Spanish, he went to the Orchard School here in Indianapolis, and so he had done Spanish when he was growing up, and so that was the language that he was stronger in, although he did study French too. But he did the IU Honors program himself. He was in Merida, Mexico, the first year they were at that site. And of course, he'd heard about the program from me for many years. He knew that that was something I had done, that I had loved. And, just like my own students and myself, he had a wonderful experience, had a great host family, and just, came back with an affection and a love for the country and the culture that he had lived in, that I think is pretty common for students who study abroad with the IU Honors program. And so, the icing on the cake came in 2017 when I was a teacher in the program, actually in the City Assembly, where I had originally studied. And so I have now seen this program from absolutely every perspective. I've been a participant. I have been a teacher of students who participated. I'm a parent of a student who participated. And I've now been a teacher in the program. And what I can tell you is that every one of these experiences has made me appreciate the program more. So I thought it was great when I was in high school. But then as I was sending my own students abroad and seeing them come back and add, so much energy and passion to the French program in my school, seeing my son get to experience it, and and feeling very supported as a parent while he was abroad. It was a very interesting experience to be the parent who, sends their child away. I never really thought about how my parents felt when I was the one going abroad. But when I was the parent, I was really, really pleased with the communication between the program and the families. I had a car accident actually while he was there, a pretty serious car accident, and the way they handled it and letting him know and all of that, I think was just handled beautifully. And I think kudos to them because that was not an easy situation. And then teaching in the program, of course, was a dream come true because this is the place where this was my first taste of France, was Saint-Brieuc. So to be back there and bringing a new group of students into this experience and helping them, build their French skills and appreciate the culture and taking them around to see some of the same beautiful sights that I had seen when I was a high school student. I honestly, it's hard to put into words how wonderful an experience that was. So if you are a parent or a teacher or a student and you want to know, is this program the right one for me? What I would say is it is challenging, but it's challenging in all the best ways. It gives you an opportunity to learn about yourself, to build your own confidence, to do something that not very many people, it's not that people can't do it, it's that not very many people choose to do it. And once you have put yourself in the situation where you choose to participate, you will never regret it. The open-mindedness and the curiosity about the world and the inside understanding and insight that you have into French culture or whatever culture you're living in, whether you do a program in Europe or Latin America or Asia, having that insider's view is something that is so valuable and so unique. So if you're on the fence and thinking, is this for me? Should I do it? All I can tell you is that I have seen a generation now of students go through this program, and I've never met one that regretted it. It's an amazing experience. So, bon courage, and I really, really recommend that you give it a shot.